there trying to tell you. Nuclear, when they tell you about nuclear war, it's not about Russia. It's not about Ukraine. It's not about none of that. All of this is about you. This is about you. This ain't about that. All right, so look, I'm gonna start off with this. DNA. All right. The key word in DNA, the messages in DNA. I'm gonna break this down for you. I don't believe y'all probably heard this from nowhere. They tell you that DNA means such and such and such, right? But the true hidden message and the meaning of DNA is in the Paleo Hebrew. When you go to the Paleo Hebrew, all right, let me pull it up. When you go to the Paleo Hebrew, what you'll find out is D means door. N, all right, D is dalet. That's what D means in Paleo Hebrew, which means door, doorway, gateway. N means none in Paleo Hebrew, which means life. Okay. A means in, which means I. So what is it saying? It's telling you that the doorway to life is through the I. This is why the scriptures tell you when Christ told you, who y'all call Christ, he say, I am the door. And this is why also the scriptures tell you, let me go right here. It tells you in Matthew 6:22 that the light of the body is the eye. This is about light. This is about you are the nuclear weapon. This is about a solar maximum. We are going through a solar maximum. Okay. It happens every 24,000 years. Why do you think the Bible, the Father said a day to us is 1,000 years to him? Let me break that down. We live, everything is about polarities. You got light and darkness. All right. You got a time period where your consciousness is descending, and you got a time period where your consciousness is ascending. This is what Jacob saw when he said, I saw angels ascending and descending from the ladder. You got a 12,000 period of ascending and a 12,000 period of descending. That's 24,000. So why did the father say? So why did the father say a day to us is 1,000 years to him? Because it's 24 hours in a day, and when you do 24 times 1,000, that's 24,000, which is called a full solar cycle. We are going through a pole shift. This is about light coming back, man. This is about your vital spiritual energy coming back. You are the nuclear weapon. Listen, nuclear weapons does not exist. It's a hoax. Stop believing in that. Because how do they tell you nuclear weapons are created? They tell you, oh, atoms. They got a split of atoms. Atoms doesn't exist. It's electromagnetic energy. Okay? It's electromagnetic energy. It's not atoms. So if atoms doesn't exist, all of this stuff about nuclear weapons does not exist. Why do they give y'all stories about, oh, radiation is harmful? Radiation is harmful. I'm going to tell you why. Because electromagnetic energy is radiation. What we call, I hate to use this word black people, but us melanated, carbonated people, we synthesize with light, kind of like a tree. We synthesize with it. It's food to the soul. This is your soul food. Are you following me? Your DNA is stimulated by light. This is why they want to get you to eat all these foods with chemicals. This is why they want you to drink all this water with chemicals. You see what I'm saying? Because you're not able to synthesize with light. When the Bible told you, when Satan said, he say, I will ascend my throne above the Most High. He said, I will ascend my throne to the far side of the north. Now, what are he talking about? If you understand that we live in a flat earth, the north is what? The North Pole. What's north of the North Pole? Celestially, the draconian constellations, which is the serpent constellation, is north of the North Pole. The North Pole is the center of the earth where there's a vortex, okay, where light enters. See, if you do your research on black holes, when light enters through a black hole, light bends, creating an illusion. Everything you are seeing, everything that's what you think is real is an illusion. You are being trapped. You're literally blinded by the light. This is why The Weeknd made that song, man. You're blinded by light. This is why the scripture says the light of the body is the eye. Because the only way to see the real so-called reality that you're seeing is the inner light. Because we are blinded by artificial light. What's artificial light? I'm gonna tell you. Your TVs, your devices, your AI devices, because they're sending off frequencies. They're blocking out the light that's coming from the Most High. They're blocking it out. It's a frequency war. Okay, they're blind. They're lit. Why do you think they got radio towers, internet towers? What do you think these towers are? These are your modern day towers of Babel. You are connected consciously, biologically to the Most High through light. And then they're blocking that out because they know what light does to you biologically. What does biological mean? It means inheritance. Did not the Bible say that? He said we will receive the inheritance of the kingdom in the last days. That's what biological means. DNA. This is deeper than, see what I'm saying, what we talking about.
Yeah, I know you
See,
done went real deep, nigga.
so see
You went real deep.
I don't wanna hog the mic, but I'm gonna stop right there, man. I'm gonna fall back because somebody else may want to talk, so I'm gonna fall back.
All right, hold on. Let me get Maurice back in because you and Maurice seem like y'all brothers.
I appreciate that brother's input, man, because the brother just before him, he was bringing it out in that Kanye's thing is he's dealing with it in the social context, but also in the political context. There's also some ethnic rivalry going on there. There's also a lot of economic rivalry going on between him and his former business partners. But Kanye don't need them for money anymore. He's outgrown them, and this is what the real issue is. Like, like Kanye's net worth was estimated, the projection when they were talking all these different projections, right? 5 billion, 6 billion, 8 billion, whatever. Now, if you understand, like, how markets work and how they do projections and all of that, yeah, we know that his real money is probably closer to 200 million, in cash. But when you do a projection, it could be up to 30 times the amount of money you have, right? But it also includes your projected earnings over 10 years. And in some cases, your projected earnings over 20 years. So he can easily say, I'm worth 11 billion based on how much product he should be able to sell over the next 20 years, right? But now these companies that have all jumped the gun to try to cut him off and sever ties with him, they can't hurt Kanye. He's already passed them already. One of the deals that happened with Kanye this past week is he got into an agreement with Candace Owens' husband, right, to buy that social media page called Parler. Parler was like this right wing social media page. It was like where all the alt right people would go after they got kicked off Twitter, right? This is the thing now. Candace Owens' husband, he's a minor partner at Parler. Candace Owens' husband, he's worth about, maybe $60 million. But he's a minor owner. The real owners of Parler include Robert Mercer's daughter, Rebecca. Rebecca Mercer, first of all, Robert Mercer, this is the guy who ran the biggest, wealthiest hedge fund in world history. In the history of this earth, this man ran the biggest hedge fund on earth. This man was worth about 50 billion when he was living. Now his daughter and the rest of his
Preach.
family, yeah, his daughter and the rest of his family, they got all that money tucked away in the trust. They sitting on 50 billion. That's Kanye's new partner. That's why they say
See?
he's buying partner. Then on top of that, another owner in Parler is Mr. Simmons. He's the biggest contributor of money to the Republican Party. Mr. Simmons by himself is worth $30 billion.
Bingo.
Kanye ain't hurting for these people money, dog. He don't
See?
need nobody from Def Jam. He don't need nobody from Adidas. Let me tell you a secret. Adidas don't make sneakers because Adidas don't own factories. All Adidas got is contracts with Chinese factories. Guess what? Kanye could go and he could get a contract with a Chinese factory. And these Chinese factories don't give a damn about what these Jews is talking about. They could care less. Kanye's sitting on roughly 200 mil of his own money. Let me tell you something about commercial credit. With just $10 million, Kanye can borrow, he could get a line of credit worth $2 billion from China, from the Bank of China. But he's sitting on roughly 200, maybe even 300 million. He could just take 100 million to the Bank of China. They give him a credit line for $10 billion. No questions asked. So yes, he can produce his own sneakers. Yes, he can produce his own clothing lines. Because all that Ralph Lauren stuff people talking about, made in China. All that Donna Karen, made in China. All of that Gucci, Prada, Fendi, some of it is made in Italy. Only the couture stuff is made in Italy. All the rest of it, made in China. All these iPhone, the $1 trillion company, all their merchandise, made in China. These companies that want us to bow down, to be fearful of them because they might cut us off, they don't even make the products that they selling. They don't own no factories. They ain't nobody. Kanye got enough money right now, and he got enough partners with a collective of billionaires, including Robert Mercer, Rebecca Mercer, who's Robert Mercer's daughter, and Mr. Simmons, and others that was inside of that hedge fund. This is a whole big clique of billionaires he's in. These people can carry him to the other side. He's good already. But how do we make this benefit us, the black people? Not individually, but collectively. How do we all ride this wave? It's just like, look, back in the day when I was coming up, and I know me and Choker around the same age, he remember this. When we was coming up in New York, we was wearing Guess, we was wearing Ralph Lauren, we was wearing Tommy Hilfiger, we was rocking all of the Euro brands. And then you had Carl Kanai. He kind of broke the mold. But then it took a few more years went by, and that's when you got a flood of urban fashion. That's when you got the FUBU, the Sean John, the Damani Dada, and all these other brands that was our brands. That was 20 years ago. We get into the second inning. That was the first inning. Now we in the second inning of this baseball game. And we got a man out front. Kanye, he ain't the perfect leader, right? He ain't got all the answers. And that's cool. Because sometimes you gotta love your brother, not despite his flaws, but you gotta love him because of his flaws.
I got to correct you on one thing.
Yeah.
Let me show you.
Yes, please.
These things are not made in China, brother.
Which one?
The Adidas.
Okay. In what country? Now I can't see it. I know you're holding it up, but I'm on my iPhone.
It says India.
Same difference. Let me tell you about India manufacturing.
You said same difference.
I'm gonna tell you why.
and India are not same.
Listen. I've been to both places. One of my business partners is a guy from India. right? My boy Kenny, right? He's from India. A clothing manufacturing company from India. China builds and owns a lot of factories in India. They've been doing that for the last 50 years. A lot of these Indian
China and
factories are
India is
Chinese
connected,
owned
but
factories. China and India, this is the same continent. They're neighbors. These are neighbors we're talking about here. But now the thing is, yeah, most of that stuff coming out of India, that's still China. We talking about the same thing. But the greater point is that it's not owned and controlled by the euro. It ain't owned and controlled by these American companies. It ain't owned and controlled by these people from Europe.
yeah, but it's
Come on,
owned and controlled by the CCP.
right?
It's owned and
Exactly.
controlled. It's owned and
Hey,
controlled by
brother
the
Maurice.
Communist
And
Party.
and that's good. Thinking about it like this,
That's not
the
good. That's not good because the CCP they all going under CBDCs, social credit system. So you
okay, look,
saying
let's look at it
you
like this.
saying
Look at it like
so
this.
you saying so
Did the CCP enslave black people?
you said what?
Did the CCP is for everybody's knowledge? When he's saying CCP, what he means is the Chinese uh,
Communist Party. What do
Communist
you
Party,
mean that
right?
they enslaved black people? There's
Yeah,
black
that's
people.
my
There's black
question.
people in China right now being.
Come
There's
on,
black people in China right now being
did
enslaved,
the
bro.
Chinese enslave black people?
There's black people in China right now being enslaved for being Christians. What are you
What's their
talking about?
name? What's their name?
As we
What's their
speak.
name? What's their name?
Right now as we speak.
Hebrew
Oh
While I'm
boy,
Israelites.
talking,
stop
there's
it.
black
Stop
people
it.
right now.
No, no, non-Southern. That's
That's
not
a
happening.
Hey,
fact.
brother Maurice.
No,
Hey,
that's
brother
not
Maurice. Let
true.
me just say this. Let me just say this. Hey, respectfully, right? Let me just, cause I'm trying to free y'all mind, man. I don't think y'all really understand it. Listen, Kanye West is not a billionaire. Let me give you the math, man. Now this is what Forbes say. Forbes say Kanye West is worth 6.6 billion. This is what Forbes say. Okay, when did this news come out? This news came out when? It came out March 17th. That's 317. 317 is the 66th prime number. 6.6. Okay? That's the 66th prime number. Why now what other reason they said that he worth 6.6 billion? Because there are 66 books in the Bible. They're playing with you, man. See, this is why.
Let me just say I hear you,
This is
Yeah,
why. Let
but
me let me
but
let me
brother,
let's
say
not
this and I'm
brother,
go.
done. Let me
brother,
say this and I'm
brother,
done.
the
Let me say this and I'm done.
Septuagint got 70 books, bro. You missing the
Let me
Apocrypha.
say this. Yeah, that's the but we not
You
we talking
missing the
about what's just in the
apocrypha, and
KJV
then
right
on.
now. That's listen. We just talking about I'm trying to free your mind, brother. We're talking about what's
Oh,
in
my
the
mind is
KJV.
free
I'm with
That's
you
not
already. My mind
included.
is
100%,
free
my brother.
already. My mind is free already.
But
My mind is free already.
listen, we're not talking about the Apocrypha, right? Those are the hidden books. We're talking about the books that's presented to all of us, which is the KJV. That's 66 books, brother. I'm wrong about that.
That's a
And they
fact.
said
I'm
Kanye
just
West.
saying the truth
Thank
that
you, brother.
the Bible consists of 70 books, as you
Yeah,
know. They
70 books.
omitted those books to keep that from us.
Mhm.
Book of
Exactly.
Maccabee, the
Agree.
book of Solomon. So we on the same page, bro. I just want to bring this
Right. We on
knowledge
this.
forward so all our true ones could do their research
Mhm.
and
Yes,
see
sir.
that
The
all
book of
this stuff
Enoch.
happening
The
right
book of
now is to
Enoch.
free our
Right.
people. God want us to be free and be
Yes,
at the
sir.
head of the
Right.
table. We
Hey,
God
hey,
Now
want us
check
at
this
the
out. Now
Amen.
head of the
dirty eyes,
table.
excuse
You hear
me
right?
me, my
for one
brother?
second, fellas. Fellas, listen. I don't think that we should be debating about that. Like, if you want to get out your point, just get out your point. But I'm just look. Right now is not a time for us to be bickering over small
Can I
details.
just
Like,
get my point out,
right.
please?
I just want to make sure that
And
everybody
please, I just want
stay
to get
on
my
point.
point out also,
And
Choke. You
All
keep
right.
I
muting my mic,
promise I'm
dog.
brief and short, brother. I'm respectful to everybody. I'm brief and short. All right. So look. So again, Dirty Ice is right. It's 70 books, right? But we're talking about the 66 books that's in the KJV. The reason we're not going to talk about the other books because those are hidden books that they hid from us because they didn't want us to know the knowledge of the Roman Catholic Church and how they did us dirty. See what I'm saying? Now, but what I'm sticking to is the 6.6 billion. This is what they say Kanye West is worth, but they're mocking the Most High because it's 66 books, like I told you, and this came on a date of March 17th, which is 317. 66 is the prime number of 317. Now check this out. They also mentioned they mentioned this on April the 3rd. They mentioned something about Kanye. Now, why do they say April 3rd? April 3rd is because if you look it up, that's around the time they say Christ was crucified on April 3rd. I'm showing you, man, they using Kanye as your false messiah, man. See, this is why the Bible
Yes.
tells you those who don't believe in the truth,
But brother,
he's going to
Kanye never
cause
said he
them to
was the
believe in
Messiah.
a
He
lie.
said he was Moses out his word. I watched Drink Champs. He
Listen,
never said he was the Messiah. He said,
can
I
I
am
ask you this?
Moses. That's
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
ask
trying
you
to
one
bring the
question,
facts.
and I'm
Let's get with
I'm
the
gonna ask
facts.
you
As
one
it is
question.
concerned, my brother.
All right,
Facts is facts.
all right. So I'm gonna ask you one question, and I'm gonna mute my mic because I'm not argumentative. This not about feelings. This not about emotions. This is about truth, brother. Do Kanye West call himself Jesus? Yes or no? And I'm gonna mute my mic. I'm done.
There you go. You got it right there. There's nothing left to be said right there. You hit it. You hit it right on the mark right there. He called himself Yay. That sound like he trying to say
Now
Yah.
let me ask you brothers a
Just
question.
like Jay-Z called himself Hove.
Is the Christ
Just like Jay-Z called himself Hove. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing, my brother. The same exact thing. That's all I'm saying.
All
That's
right,
all
you
I'm
got
saying. And we can't
brothers?
keep falling.
I'm on the same page with all of you brothers. I'm on the same exact page with everybody. I'm on the same page. All I'm saying to you, brothers, is Kanye got the balls to stand up and speak his mind and
Right.
speak truth to power. That's what I'm talking
Let
about.
me ask you
We
one
need to give
question.
Kanye credit because what is in it for him? Why is
All
he
right,
doing this? What
all
is in
right,
it for him? They're gonna try to crucify him, bro.
all right.
Let's be honest. And
Let
I'm
me
gonna put it
ask
out there to Kanye. You come holler at me, man. You got a good social right. I'm gonna ride with you, Kanye,
let me
because
ask you one
I'm with
question,
you
my brother.
100%.
Real
I'm
quick,
with
real quick, real quick.
go ahead, go ahead,
I can't hear.
go ahead, go
All
ahead.
right, you hear me?
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
hearing you.
Okay. Do you I'm sure you know about the Hegelian dialect, right? Hello?
Bring it forth, bro. I'm listening to you. Bring it
All
forth.
right. So
Do you know
listen.
about it or not? Do you know about it or
Yes.
not?
I'm asking the brother, bring it forth. I don't know what he talking about. I'm not gonna pretend to know it all. Bring it
Okay,
forth. I'm
okay.
willing
All
to
I
right.
hear.
let him go. He gonna tell you. He gonna tell you. Go ahead.
Thank
All
you, my
right.
brother. Thank
I'm where I'm coming from with Kanye, where I feel like we falling asleep with him is there's two sides to this war, bro. There's two sides. You got the Romans, and then you got these Khazarians, bro. Now, Kanye's playing on the Roman side, Hegeli, they both it's two sides to the same plan. It's two sides. Create problem. What is it? Problems. You create the problem so you can come forth with the solution. That's the Hegelian dialect. That's what they doing. You got Kanye's. He's showing you what side he's on, bro. He just had a concert with what's his name? Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson is in the same order. You got a video with Marilyn Manson signing with the Catholics, with the Romes. That's bro. That's the Jesuits, bro. He's letting you know what side he's on. All they doing right now is creating the chaos. All Kanye's doing right now is creating the chaos, bro. So now
Thank you, brother.
you got. Listen to me. You got Maurice. This is the problem because this is what the pro. This is. Listen to me
Can I
real quick.
ask
Let
you
me
a
get this
question,
out.
brother?
Let me
I
get
just
this
want to
out
ask
real
you
quick.
one question. Can I
What's up?
ask you?
What's up?
No, let him finish. No, let him finish.
Hold on. Let me say this real quick. Now, you got Marilyn Manson on tape signing in blood with the Catholics. Now, the Catholics is Rome. Who runs Rome? It's not the Pope, it's the Black Pope. That's the Jesuits, bro. Okay? Now you got the other side. You got these Khazarians. That's the Clintons. That's fucking Obamas. That's Jay-Z. That's Kim Kardashian. But it's both sides and they doing the same exact thing. Now, what the other brother was talking about, artificial intelligence, we in the algorithm war, bro. This is an algorithm war, artificial intelligence. So now you got both sides creating this thing for people who lack knowledge and don't have the knowledge. So now you watching this psyop going on and you taking up for Kanye, who's showing you what side he's on, bro. So if you know the history and you understand the symbolism, you will know what side he's telling you he's on, my brother.
Hey,
That's all I'm
Cash and
saying.
Yah.
So now,
Can I
if
Let
you
me
ask you
got
a question though,
Maurice,
my brother? Can I
if
ask
you
you a
got a
question?
brother like
I got a
Maurice, if you got a brother like Maurice, this is the problem. This is the problem. And the Bible told us about this. The fruit of the poisonous tree, the knowledge. What you can accumulate a certain level of knowledge and get confused in that knowledge, where you get deceived with your knowledge, thinking a man like
Hey,
Kanye West, who's telling you, who's showing you with all
mm-hmm.
his symbolism what he
Cash and
is,
Yah,
but because of the
respectfully.
money and because of what he might represent, we want to play this middle ground, bro. This is the light versus the dark. All
You
right.
right, bro.
That's all I'm
That's
saying,
what
bro.
I've
I'm
been
I'm,
trying
I'm
to
let
say.
somebody else take the floor.
Real quick, let me say this. That's what I've been trying to. I'm trying to free y'all mind on it. Listen, remember when Peter? Remember when Peter said, what did he told Christ, right? Who y'all call Christ? He told him, he said, listen, I don't want you to get crucified. And what Christ told him, he said, get behind me, Satan. Why did he call Peter that? Because it's showing you that anybody can be an agent. You could be an agent and not even know it
Why can I ask a
because
question though?
you're blinded by the light. This is why you gotta listen, man. You gotta live. That's the first key to learning. Anybody could be an agent. You don't even have to be an agent intentionally. Satan can use you unintentionally, and you could be sitting here taking up for Kanye. And what's gonna happen? That energy is gonna manifest on somebody else to say, yeah, you know what, this brother makes sense. He sounds good. Now you got another follower. Now Satan
Can
got
I ask
another
you a
follower.
question, my
You see
brother?
what I'm
Can
saying?
I ask you a question?
Yo,
Electromagnetic
bro,
field,
why you
bro.
keep cutting people off,
My
man?
fault. My fault. My
If I
fault.
can't ask my
Now,
question, I
I
had a
apologize.
Yo,
valid
I
question.
apologize. I apologize.
Hold on,
My
hold on
fault. I
for a
ain't
minute,
gonna
y'all.
do it
Hold on
again.
for a minute, y'all. Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Yo, brother, the way I operate my shit is I let niggas talk, and when they finish, you raise your hand or I call you on to you and let you talk. Don't take it off mute. Like you gonna break a nigga train to throw it. Let him talk, brother. I didn't let you talk. I didn't let you sign off. You came back on. You cutting niggas off. Chill, my nigga. I got you.
all right, so to finish off what I'm saying, so this is all about frequency, man. We are literally biologically connected to light, man. Your DNA is a extension of the tree of life, man. You see what I'm saying? Listen, artificial intelligence is the beast that's spoken about in Revelation, because what it said those that took the mark. I mean, let me rephrase myself. He said that in the end times they're going to give life to the beast. They're going to be able to make this image talk. What is the image? What do you see them doing with AI right now? Making images talk. You see what I'm saying? Now check this out. What is the internet? Y'all got to understand the internet is another form of a portal, because these beings, these demons are what? Interdimensional. You see what I'm saying? So the scriptures calls us what? The elect. He called his chosen the elect. Elect. Electrical, electromagnetic. You are controlled by light. You're being blinded by light. Watch the movie what's this movie, man? Where the dude put on the glasses, and every time he put on the glasses, he see people for who they really are.
They live. They live.
They Live. Watch
With
the movie
Roddy
They
Roddy
Live.
Piper.
Now when you look at the end of that movie, you'll notice that these beings was able to blend in because of these frequency towers. Light. They was able to bend light. That's why I told you, when light enters through a black hole, light bends. If you look at your eyes, what are your eyes? Your eyes are a black hole. What you're seeing is an illusion, brother. Look up the Mayans. What do you think Mayan mean? Mayan means illusion. They knew this. That's why the only way out is in.
All right, hold on for a minute, Gene. Hold on. I'm gonna go to Maurice for a second. Now, Maurice, go ahead. Take it off mute.
Look, to continue this bill, right? Because the brother, when he came in, I'm glad he came in and he said the things he said about, oh yeah, Kanye's choosing the Romans versus the Khazars and versus the this and the that. Listen. Let's take this. See, it's one thing to go to the biblical context, a spiritual, religious context. Let's go to a historical context. Who are the Romans? You saying Kanye rolling with the Romans, but who are the Romans? Rome was founded by black people. The Etruscan society is what became the Romans. All the original settlements of Rome were Africans. Rome, for the first 600 years, was ruled by Africans. Look up Septimius Severus, the Roman emperor. He's an African. My first name is Maurice. One of the most famous Maurices. First of all, Maurice is a Roman African name that come up out of the Punic era. All throughout the Mediterranean, there's a whole bunch of black people named Maurice because the word comes from Maury, which is an African word. But those Africans that moved to Rome were called Maurice. You can look up a man who is regarded as a saint in the Christian religion, Saint Maurice. Saint Maurice came from Thebes in Egypt. This is an African general of Rome. See, you talk about Rome as if Rome is some other people, as if Rome is there's some white people over there and they the Romans. That's a lie, dog. Rome is an African civilization. Babylon is an African civilization. Ancient Kemet, an African civilization. All of those pre-Bronze Age civilizations, all African. There was no white people there. White people don't come from Europe. White people moved into the Europe beginning in the 1st century AD. When you get into the 2nd century BC, 3rd century, 4th century, 5th century BC, we talk about back in Hannibal times. When Hannibal was crossing over the mountains with the elephants. These is all black people they talking about. It ain't no white people there. The man who Hannibal fought, the man who defeated Hannibal, Publius Cornelius Scipio. That's a black man. That Roman general is a black man.
Hold on, you getting a little way off topic here for a second. Hold on. Cat, go ahead, bro. You gotta take it off mute. Yeah, I see you got your hand up, but you gotta take it off mute.
All right, bet.
Go ahead.
All right, hey yo, Maurice. All right, you saying all this Rome and Rome was black? Hey, yo, I'm not arguing color with you. This is all I want to ask you. Okay, who killed Jesus?
Rightfully, the man who we call Jesus, the man who Christians call Jesus.
I just want to know who killed them.
Well, I'm just gonna go cut straight to the chase. I don't believe in any historical Jesus. I believe Jesus is a metaphor.
In history, who
okay,
they
but
say,
listen,
Jesus is not a historical person.
Oh, bro, I got you. Maurice, his question is, historically, from what they saying, who's responsible for killing Jesus?
Yes. Jesus is a religious story, not Jesus is a religious story.
We know all of this, my brother. We know all of this.
In the religious story, in the cartoon, in the fantasy, who was responsible for killing Jesus?
Yes, that's what I want to know.
Jews.
Wrong.
The Pharisees and the Sadducees. The Pharisees and the Sadducees.
No. The Pharisees are the ones who brought the accusation.
Pontius Pilate.
They're the ones who brought the accusation. But who had the power to kill Jesus?
Pontius Pilate.
And who was Pontius Pilate was the person in court. Tiberius was the king. Now I'm asking you, who killed Jesus if Rome is the one who had the power?
The Jews.
The Jews brought the accusation, and Rome killed
and if
Jesus.
You read the
Rome is the one who had the power. So I'm not arguing. Listen to me. I'm not arguing.
The people had a decision. The people could have chose Jesus, or they could have chose Barabbas. You remember? Who they chose? They could have chose Jesus or Barabbas. They said, choose who you want us to crucify,
And they
Jesus
chose
or Barabbas. The people
Jesus.
chose Barabbas, a murderer. Let's talk.
Yes,
Let's talk the facts, Mister Ya, my brother. Let's talk
that's
Yeah.
right.
facts. Let's talk
I'm just
biblical. Where am I right or
Yes.
wrong?
So let's talk it. Let's
Now
talk
let me
it.
ask you a question. Let me get back
Fellas,
to my question.
fellas,
My
Yes,
y'all
question,
sir.
you
stop
said,
arguing.
hold on. My question is
Fellas,
this to
fellas.
everybody. You giving Satan all this power. You said that Kanye is a vessel, right? Now, if Kanye is a powerful vessel, why can't the Most High use him as a pawn? The Most High control everything. So why we gonna condemn our brother? Why we don't try to give him a shot? He the most
Because
powerful of all of us. He got the biggest voice, the biggest platform. Why
we
we
living
don't
I'm gonna
in
tell
rally
you
the end
why,
of
against him?
brother.
times.
Why
I'm gonna
we
tell
don't
And
you
the
why.
Can
end
I
of
say
times
something,
calls for
please?
separation. The end of times calls for separation.
Right.
The end of
And,
times
you
calls
know what
for
the Bible say?
separation, bro. That's why.
Hey,
That's why the Bible says, test the spirit by the spirit. Kanye's philosophy is, if you don't have more money than me, then I won't listen to you. That don't sound like the spirit of Christ. That's not the Holy Spirit. That's not the Holy Spirit. The
That's not
Bible
brother?
true.
says, test the spirit by the
Can I ask
spirit.
you a question, brother? On Drink Champs, Kanye said he is an Israelite. He said that he is an Israelite. So he's trying to come home. Why we don't let our brother come home? Let him come home.
Because, bro,
Wait, did you hear Kanye
let me
say that
ask you a
before?
question. Let me ask you a question. The
Talk
devil,
to me.
the
Talk to
devil,
me. I
the
came to talk.
devil, the devil won't. The devil can't deceive you with truth. Didn't he do it in the Bible? Didn't he do it all over the Bible? How
Facts.
did how
Facts.
did how did he deceive Eve? How did he deceive Eve? He deceived Eve with truth mixed with lies, bro. What are you talking about?
I didn't disagree with you at no way, shape,
Hey,
or time, brother. I agree with
Can
So
I
everything you
can
saying.
I
okay, so
say
that's
I
all
something,
I'm
agree.
Bible?
saying. That's
hey,
all
Choke,
I'm
can I say
saying,
this?
bro.
All right, hold on.
All
Choke,
I'm
can I say
saying is
something?
we can't choose this middle ground, bro.
Hold on.
Hey, listen.
I in agreement.
What I want to say,
Hold on. That's it. Hold on, brother. Hey, the next person that take their shit off mute, I'm kicking you out. I'm letting you know now. If you take it off mute, I'm kicking you out. All right. Y'all are in agreement. Okay, Dirty Ice. Y'all in agreement. We moving past that. Y'all in agreement. Lady J. Oh, go ahead.
So first, I want to say this is a great conversation, Choke. You're very, very necessary. This is dialogue that has to be had, and the brothers with so much information is a wonderful thing. And so, where Kanye and where we are right now, I just want to bring it up to speed of where what Kanye has been doing when he's talking about 2024 and him trying to platform to run for office to run for president. And so we got to realize that this is happening during the distraction that you're talking about. And you're like going back to the Roman Empire. It is the same thing. And you guys made me understand that very clearly. And so now, as we're talking about this 2022 midterm elections, it's 2 weeks away, right? So it's 2 weeks away. It's red or it's blue. It's the sides. And what the gentleman was saying about um Jay-Z and everybody being on one side, the Clintons being on one side, and Kanye is on the other side. He is on the other side. And then what Maurice was saying about how Kanye got enough money, because there's what we're operating in, and this is where we go wrong, is we're operating in one side of the capital. And that's the capital that people are giving to us. Like we're talking about the Jewish people giving to us. There's nothing that we are taking in the process. There's nothing that we are vying for. So then when we're talking about slavery, we're talking about now we all know, the brother said, we all know that we still slaves to the rhythm today, right? So now is slavery a choice today, right? Because now Kanye, what he is, what brother Ice was saying, Kanye has the courage, right? Kanye has the courage right now. So I think where we're going wrong is that Kanye doesn't necessarily have to be the Messiah. In 2018, I ran for Congress in Harlem as a Republican, right? I ran because in Harlem, which is a D85, a D85 means it's a Democratic a Democratic town, 85%. So you as a Republican, me as a Republican, is not going to really win in Harlem when 85% of the community is Democrats. But my point was, we have to start this conversation because we can't play any game on one side of the field. And when we're then talking about all these great people that we are and the people that we represent going into this, so now Kanye steps out and says, okay, I'm rocking with Trump. Trump would have gave us a deal. Like the brother was saying, that this is not emotional, right? Trump would have gave us a deal. Now Kanye is stepping out. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He's a novice at this, but he's giving it a shot. He knows he's risking stuff. His money doesn't matter because, like the brother said, he can get money anywhere. Right? Okay, so they're embarrassing him and they're stripping him. So he doesn't have power for this election because now two powers are fighting over what is happening, right? We don't really have anything to do with what they're fighting over because we're not in the game. But we play that 2% part that tips it over. So if, as we're talking about, most Black people are Democrats. If we don't have the conversation, because it's not about us siding with one side, this is about us getting what we need to get for ourselves at this point. Like the mom said a little while ago, we gotta ride one of these dudes out, right? Because we gotta ride out. We don't necessarily need Kanye to be right. We need Ice to stand up. You know what I'm saying? We need Choke to stand up. We need all the next real messiahs to stand up and step into the equation now, right? Kanye opened the door. Okay, Kanye, good. And like I said, we shouldn't abandon him. We should help him. We should support him and direct him in the right way. Now, if he doesn't listen, then somebody else is going to step into it. Like I said, I ran for office to start the conversation about why do we all have to be Black and Democrat? This is a money game. And unless we get involved in this money game, the way this money game is really being played, we're going to continue to be at the bottom of the barrel. Now they're bringing all these immigrants into the United States, and they're going to be competing with us. So unless we step up and get focused, like Ice is saying, we're in trouble. So I'm going to stop right there.
My thing is, just like my dude said, how can you talk to Kanye when he's talking about if you ain't got more money than him, he's not listening to you? Go ahead, Maurice. What?
Listen, I can tell you how to talk to Kanye. That's easy. What's Kanye's biggest fault? His biggest fault is his ego. The way you control a man like Kanye is through the ego. This is not rocket science. Like, it's like we got a whole bunch of complaints. Why didn't he do it 10 years ago? Why didn't he come out 5 years ago? What about 3 years ago? Well, let me tell you about somebody else who took a very long time to come out and make something of himself. There was a man who was a dope fiend, high on heroin for 10 years of his life. He lived and worked as a pimp, pimping Black women all up and down the streets of Harlem. Man was a burglar, went up in Massachusetts, was robbing houses, robbing and stealing, a real dirtbag. You know who that man is?
Al Sharpton?
It's Malcolm X.
Malcolm X.
That's Malcolm X, boy.
Malcolm X, Maurice. Brother Maurice, bring it forward, brother Maurice. Bring it forward.
Okay,
That's Malcolm X.
Okay,
that's Malcolm X. So listen. So forget all of that about all his faults and all his misdeeds and all his mistakes. Dog. Kanye is one of us. He's from the essence that we from. There ain't no limitations on his ability to rise up and do better, be better. There's nothing stopping us as a people. That's why I agreed with his claim of slavery was a choice. We was all put in slavery. We know how we got in it. But look at what the Haitians did. They chose to get out. They fought for that freedom. See, we never accomplished that. See, we out here, we walking around with a selective service card and a social security slavery number talking about we free. Kanye is trying to get free, for real free.
So you tell me that was it?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
All right, this brother's going. All right. So you telling me that was his strategy
No,
to get kicked off? I would get kicked off for these
no,
Adidas, all these people. He did all this just because he wanted to be free, is what you telling me, right?
no. I'm gonna say that. No, I'm gonna say Kanye has no plan. Kanye has no
Okay.
plan. He simply see right now with Kanye, he's on autopilot. He's just reacting. See, like you see, like the way I'm like, I could take some of the history, I could kind of bring it forward, I can make comparisons. Kanye's not really that kind of person. You know that when you listen to him speak, he doesn't have a lot of details. But we do know about Kanye is that, like he has stated himself, father was a Black Panther. Mother was in the Black liberation movement a little bit because she was with the father. The boy got some knowledge. It ain't like he's just some dummy from nowhere.
All right, let me ask you this question. I'll move to the next person. Are you voting for Kanye in 2024?
Hell yeah. Listen, if it's him versus Biden, the man who put us in jail for 2 decades, yeah, I'm gonna go Kanye.
Okay,
I'm not
hold
gonna
on, hold on. Because all y'all voted Biden in the first place, knowing that was Crime Bill Joe anyway.
exactly.
Hold on. North Star. Take it off mute.
Okay, so I'm gonna share. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna share something with you. This is about the strategy tactic that Maurice was talking about, and he said that he don't think Kanye is on that type of time because he doesn't really give a lot of detail. Why would you give detail when you know that you're working? You got a lot of forces working against you, so you're not going to reveal what your real plan is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So of course it would make sense for him to do what he does to make it seem like he's one way when really he's got a real plan in place. But let me say this about getting free. Okay. I did federal time for drugs, right? And when I got sentenced to 168 months, which equals out to 14 years. And then they also gave me 5 years of federal probation. Okay. Now, when I was in prison, I studied law like all the time. Okay. And one of the things that I wanted to do was to make sure that I got off of federal probation within a year, no longer than like 18 months. So this is what I did. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did. So I know a lot of y'all are familiar with something called the Uniform Commercial Code and, like sovereignty law and all that type of stuff, right? So I used the UCC to get me off of probation within 18 months when I was supposed to be on there for 5 years. And one of the things that I did to get myself free was I wrote this letter to, it was one letter, and I sent it to 5 different agencies. I sent it to the judge. I sent it to the prosecutor. I sent it to the U.S. Marshal's office. I sent it to the probation office, and I sent it to the judge's secretary. Now I sent it to those 5 people for this one reason, because you know that anything that you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, right? When I got out the halfway house, I had I didn't report because you get like 72 hours to report to the probation office. I didn't report, and I did that on purpose because I knew that, okay, they were going to come and get me. And when they came and got me, they were going to take me to court, and there was going to be, a process behind that. Now, I could have filed a motion to get off of probation. Now, this is in relation to what I'm saying about Kanye, okay? I could have filed a motion to try to get off probation, but they would have denied it, and I would have ended up staying on probation for a whole 5 years. So in order for me to do that, I had to use a tactic that would enable me to get free. And what did I do? When I sent that letter to them, the day that I got out the halfway house, I had I waited to the end of the 72 hours and I sent that letter to them. Then when that letter got to them, they read it. I went to work. The marshals came and picked me up. I sat in jail for a week. When I got out, when I went to court, the government was trying to send me back to prison because they said that I was to act like I was above the law. but they couldn't send me back to prison for one reason, because of what I said in that letter. I told them in that letter that I was a free man and that I could not be sent back to prison, because when I signed off on the release form, the prison release form, on that release form, it says official release form. And there's a little clause right before you sign it that says that you are no longer in the jurisdiction of the Federal Bureau of Prisons or the United States Attorney General. So when I signed off on that document, I signed my signature, comma, authorized representative, and that's what freed me and got me off of probation, because of that tactic right there. They couldn't even touch me. So anything that I did when I went and did stuff, I used to force them to do all sorts of things just based on that premise. Because if I would have filed a motion, that would put me in their jurisdiction. But because I sent that letter, I knew that they would use that letter as evidence against me, which they would have to read it on record. And once it became a part of the record, they can no longer deny that I said that I'm a free man. And they would have to basically honor the fact that I was a free man and they couldn't send me back to prison. So I'm just saying that I think that Kanye is doing the things that he's doing in the same fashion, like kind of what I described to you, but he's just doing it his way by creating all of this confusion and saying all these different things to dismantle the grip that they have on him so that he can completely free himself and stand on his own. I think that is calculated.
Okay.
Because and one more thing, I sent myself to jail on purpose just to do that, because they took me to jail for a week, which I had already knew that was going to happen, which I'm saying that I believe Kanye is kind of doing the same thing.
And this is his end goal, to run for president.
That probably is in line with it, but I think for his fortune, for his money, and for what he wants to do creatively, and to be able to have complete control of his creative process from beginning to end, is why he's doing what he's doing. But I think all the other stuff of why he's doing what he's doing is to bring attention to him running for president, and also to get support from the people that would be willing to vote for him. He's using the Trump method.
Yeah, but Trump wasn't running around talking about, yo, all black people's racist. You get what I'm saying? Like, Trump didn't attack a race or religion. So I don't see the comparison, but okay. Hold on. Let me get. All right, go ahead, Gene.
Yo, what's up, everybody? First and foremost, I want to say I respect everybody's opinion.
Hello?
Y'all some very.
You told me to go?
Yeah, go ahead, Gene. Like Gene DNA.
All right. So I know I saw some comments. Everybody like, man, why you keep talking? Listen, you gotta understand, man. The lie has been repeated to you repetitively. So why can't the truth be repeated to you repetitively? It's like when somebody say the truth over and over and over and repeat the same thing is a problem. But you've been getting the same lie your whole life. And this is why I keep touching on this light. All right, so let me show you something. You think I'm bull crap. Let me show you what yay really mean. Okay? Hold on. All right. Damn, y'all can't really see it. If Choke can pull it up on his computer, yay means light. Keep telling y'all what this is about. Now, why is Ye talking about 2024? Because in 2024, that's when we're going to have a solar maximum. All of this nuclear war they talking about is about the sun. It's about light. Why else he is talking about 2024? Because 2024.
Where you getting this definition that yay means light?
Type in yay. Mm-hmm. Type in yay means light in Chinese origin. Anybody can look it up. You'll see it for yourself. It means bright one or light.
In Chinese.
In Chinese origin, it means light. Look it up. I don't gotta lie to you.
All right,
I
good.
make sure before I talk. I make sure before I talk, I know what I'm talking
Brother,
about.
I'm
So,
not, I'm
so,
not
so,
saying
so.
you're lying. I'm just asking
Mhm.
in what language. When you say yay is light, it means light. You have to tell people in what religion, what language. You just can't say yay means light. Because if you look up yay in
Mhm.
an English dictionary, it's not going to say light.
No, I respect that. I appreciate that too.
All right.
Appreciate that. Now the reason, now I'm gonna tell you why is in Chinese origin. Because what do they call it? Yin and yang, light and darkness. I just told y'all that it's 24,000 years into another light cycle. We're entering into a light cycle, man. See, I'm gonna fall back on that, man. I'm not trying to force my whatever on nobody. I'm trying to free your mind, man. I'm telling you what this is about. We on a time schedule. I'm gonna fall back though.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to pull up that yay in Chinese. That means light, and put it on the screen for us. Yeah, because I looked it up. I don't see it. I'm gonna need you to do that, brother. Wait, go ahead, Lady J.
I just want to chime in. That is 100%. Now, again, I'm a political person,
Wait,
and
what's 100%?
what he was saying as far as in 2024 what can happen. Now I'm sitting here when everybody is talking, I'm saying, look, if there is $1 billion on the table right now in this going into 2024, the power that's going to be passed off to whoever. Now I don't want Kanye to be the president, okay? And have this kind of power at this point, because I don't think that he is prepared to deal with all of that. But when we look at what's going on, and I was just saying, it's $1 billion on the table. And this is the part that we're not bringing all together amongst ourselves, right? So if there's $1 billion on the table, how much of that are we getting? Right. So this is the problem that we're not doing. We're not going to the table and saying, yo, okay, y'all swinging $1 billion over top of our heads, right? And what's happening, right? 2024 with all this nuclear talk and everything, whoever gets the power in 2024 is going to control everything. That's why they're letting all these immigrants in. That's why they're doing all this stuff, because they're preparing for it. And so as the brother is saying, that light, it's very true in the sense of, yeah, 2024 is a very, very important time for us. And the fact that we're waking up, I was in a room with these white Republicans, and I told them, I said, listen, my brothers is ready to come to the table. We're ready to have a conversation about what it is that we want. And they laughed at me. I love your spirit though. And I said, no, 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 no. We're ready. And they said, look, you've been voting the same way. They kept a G with me. They said, you've been voting, you meaning black people, been voting the same way for the last 50 years. What and you've gotten nothing out of it. So what makes you think that all of a sudden you're gonna snap into it and all of a sudden decide to talk and get smart about voting? Because the people that are talking for us are not representing us. And that's a lot of our problem. And again, Kanye, where he's at right there now, he's in a great position. But again, everything that we do from here doesn't have to be Kanye as our leader. He's opening the door. Somebody else step up. Somebody else step in. You understand? He doesn't have to be the ringleader of this. They're killing them, losing money. He got enough money, but they're just trying to get us away from being free. And I think that's where we need to focus is, how do we be free? Where do we go from here? And make sure that, yes, we have to be involved. And voting is not about, oh, I like him or I don't like him. How much money you bring into our community? When we getting it, and how? That's all we need to be talking about with them. They don't like us. They're not. We can take care of ourselves. we need the money, but we need to be able to negotiate that money. We need to be able to be a part of it. Kanye is helping us do that. He may be doing his own thing and stuff like that, but we got to take it and run from here.
Very powerful, sister. I'm ready to vote for you.
You will.
Hey, Cho, don't kick me out. Let me just say this real quick, Cho. Don't kick me out. I just wanted to give you this. I'm gonna mute my mic. Type in yay means light. Look on Google, and all you got to do is type in yay means light, and it'll pop up for you. And you can show everybody. I'm gonna mute my mic now.
All right. Go ahead, Cashin. You still there? All right. Maurice, go ahead.